So this is player 1, this is player 2, this is player 1 controls. As you can see, before the game starts, the ball moves with the paddle to stay at the center of the player's paddle. This switch is to decide if you want to play against the AI or another person. Over here is the scoreboard. The two lights in the center always stay on, they're connected directly to power. And then when one player scores from opposite ends, the LEDs will light, and as they approach the light bars in the middle, if they hit those, which is a score of 4, they win the game. So currently it is on the setting for playing against a human, and if we move the joystick we can see that it moves player 2's paddle. To serve, you have to push both buttons at once. To reset the game, you also push both buttons at once. So I'm going to serve as player 1. At once. Play the game a little bit. And so you can see player 1 has a score now of 1, and the ball always goes back to the person who scored. Player 1 scores again. Player 2 has scored once, and their light for their first score is here. So now player 2's button to serve is the 2 buttons here. Player 2 uses the joystick to move, but to serve uses the 2 buttons. Player 1 has scored for the 3rd time, and we're just going to let... Oh, player 2 has scored. Player 2 has scored again. Wrong serve button. And the display, so player 1 scored for a 4th time, they hit the center LEDs, and the display shows 1 for player 1 has 1. So now we will switch to the AI. So I'm going to push the switch. And now, to turn the game on and have the game be active, just as with the regular game, you press the player 1 serve command, which is the both buttons that are in PC0 and PC1. And then player 2, you will notice, moves as player 1 moves. Player 2, the AI kind of mimics the movement of player 1 to have a higher difficulty and block the ball serve. Player 2 has scored. For player 2, regardless if it's AI or player 2, to signify that we're ready for player 2 to serve, we always press these 2 buttons the same way player 1 does. Player 2 has scored again. Player 2 has scored again. The button just keeps popping up, and then we're going to serve again as player 2, and the player 2 winning LED has illuminated.